Okay, so today I would like to interview you about wearing your mask in public. So,
Okay.
like at family gatherings, is there anyone you don't wear your mask around?
So when I'm in my house, actually, my wife and my son, because we're kind of in the same pod. Actually, we don't wear masks when we're in the house, but we do actually wear masks though. Like my mother, who is 72, actually still does come over for dinner on Sundays, actually, and then we do wear a mask when she's around, and then she wears a mask when she comes over to our house. But we also make a point of sitting on opposite sides of the room and sitting at opposite ends of the table and stuff like that, just so we can still see her, but try to be as safe as we possibly can.
Okay, that's smart. Is there anyone you trust to like not wear your mask around?
We've been pretty, like I said, deliberate. Just our real pod is only like my son and my wife actually, but everybody else I pretty much wear a mask around all the time.
Okay. Um, if you could trust anyone to not wear your mask around them, would you wear your mask around them still?
I think that it's one of those things that if someone that I knew had either um, if there was a reason to do it, I mean, or a reason to take off my mask, actually, and the person had recently either had COVID or had their immunizations, I mean, that's something I would consider. But I figure it's our position has kind of been it's always better safe than sorry. So unless there was some sort of compelling reason to not wear your mask, since I haven't been vaccinated yet, then I would continue to wear it.
Okay, thank you. And the final question I have for you is: do you know anyone that has a high risk of getting COVID?
Yeah, I have an aunt, and she has cerebral palsy and lives in an assisted living facility, and so it's like a nursing home, and she's 70 years old, and so she's particularly high risk actually with all of her medical issues that go along with cerebral palsy, the and also being in relatively tight quarters. So, but luckily she was able to get her vaccination here within the past month, so that was good. But yeah, she's particularly high risk, and then I have a couple of other aunts and uncles that are either whether it's obese or diabetes or other underlying health conditions are at high risk. Actually, so they've been pretty housebound for the past better part of a year.
Thank you for your time. Hello, my name is Trey Mixon. How are you all doing today?
Awesome. How you, Trey?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing well too.
Yes.
Um, so today I am here with Mr. Harry and Ms Mixon.
Right.
Yes.
And starting off with Mr. Harry, tell me a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a retired warden of the state after 26 years, a warden of the state of Missouri. I lock
That's
people.
amazing. Thank you for your service. That's amazing.
Thank you, Trey.
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Well, I'm originally from New York City. I moved here in 1980. I'm also the only boy of 11.
Oh, that's incredible.
I have a twin, which is a girl.
Family is very important. Shifting to Miss Mixon, tell me a bit about yourself.
Um, my full name is Elisa Mixon. I work as a computer analyst for a law firm. I have a wonderful son named Trey,
Amen.
and and I enjoy computers. I am very computer savvy, and I'm happy to be here today with you.
Thank you. Now we've all gotten to know each other. Let's get into the topic. Today, this interview is about COVID, the domino effect, and wearing your mask. So today, my questions are: is there anyone you wear your mask around besides people in your household, Mister Harry?
At all times, I wear my mask whenever I go out. And the only person I probably don't do it is family, like just immediate family. And I
Okay,
pretty much wear a mask anywhere I go, Trey.
that's a good example. Ms Mixon, what about you?
Yes, I'm pretty religious about wearing my mask. I wear my mask almost 90% of the time when I'm out in the public, and most of the time, even when I'm with close friends and family.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you both to like elaborate, like close friends, immediate family, like friends you spend more time around, or like close family you spend more time around typically. Like who would that be?
Well, yes, like I agree with Ms Mixon 90% of the times I wear my mask. But whenever I don't, to get more specific, probably my son or a significant other. Other than that, I'm always wearing a mask.
Okay, Ms Mixon.
Yes, I usually always wear a mask, except with the exception of people who I'm in the household with. And I think that's pretty much it. I pretty much wear my mask all the time, except with the exception of people I'm in the household with.
Okay. Um, would you say that wearing a mask would depend on age, race, and location?
I'm sorry, repeat that question.
Would you agree that wearing a mask depends on age, location, and race?
No, no, Trey. I think you threw that one out for me. No, I think all people, whether you're black, white, any color, should always wear a mask because you're looking out for everyone that doesn't have a like a color or age. So therefore, you're looking out for yourself and others. That's responsible.
I would like to say something in that regard. I think that I have noticed when I am out and about that young people have a tendency to be a little lax in their mask wearing, or you see people wearing their mask incorrectly, like below their nose, especially young people.
Right.
Now, I noticed that a lot of people have taken it to the next level and they have started accessorizing their masks with their clothing and everything. However, as far as age is concerned, I think the young people do not take COVID as seriously as they should.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question for you guys. What about older people? Like older people, they have, well, like somewhat weakened immune systems. So would you say you're more careful around the people who are 60 years or older?
Yes, always. I always watch Dr. Fossey, and Dr. Fossey told us that the high risk are elderly people. So therefore, yes, anytime I'm around anyone elderly of age, yes, I wear my mask at all times.
I
Okay.
concur. And in fact, I visit my mother often, and I am a person that quizzes her on her mask wearing because she is a person that likes to get out and be on the go. In fact, I recently told her because Dr. Fauci said that it's better to double up. I recently told her to double up her mask.
Exactly.
Okay, that's very good advice from Dr. Fuzzy. Um, okay, question. I have a question about the vaccine. What do you believe about the vaccine? Do you believe it's safe? Do you believe everyone should get it? Do you believe it should be a required law to get it?
I'm taking mine. I'm gonna take my medicine to make sure I get vaccinated.
Okay.
Okay.
As far as the vaccine is concerned, I have very strong views in regards to the vaccine. I have recently taken my first dose of the vaccine, and I'm very happy. And my mother, I made sure that because she's 85 years old and in the high risk category, I made sure that she also had the vaccine. Um, I think that if we're going to get ahead of this thing, that a significant amount of us are going to have to take the vaccine. Do I have concerns in regards to how speedily the vaccine was brought to market? Of course I do. I do have those concerns. However, I've seen people that I love die, I've seen people that I care about die.
Exactly.
And so that is what prompted me to get vaccinated. So I am, because I am a Black person in this country, we have a very, we're very tenuous in regards to how we view government vaccines. And you can look at the Tuskegee experiment and things of that nature, where we African American people were used to test things on. So I know that being a Black person, that is a concern of people. I know personally that that's a very real concern of people who I am close friends with. I do understand it, but I have done lots of research in regards to how the vaccine came to the market. I have researched Operation Warp Speed, and I feel confident that that the vaccine has been tested to my satisfaction. However, this vaccine is new and we don't know what's going to happen. But what we do know is that COVID kills. And so I am trying to avoid death. That's basically what it comes down to.
And by Friday,
Thank you.
and by Friday, Trey, they're saying we'll have over 100 million people vaccinated by Friday.
Now, Harry, can you tell us how many people will be dead of COVID?
Oh, many, many. It's very important to get your shot. Very important.
What's the death rate for COVID?
I think it's like 500,000, 500,000 people didn't die. Very serious.
Okay. Speaking of the death rate, do you believe that there's like a hierarchy of who gets the vaccines first, and which would determine the number of people, like the minorities and the groups and the racial groups and ethnic groups of people who are dying?
Normally, normally I wouldn't think that, but the way our senators been acting, and we had the character in office, so it makes me think what you just said, that they are making a difference. It could be a possibility that some rich get it before the poor, but I'm still trusting they're going to do the right thing.
I would like to answer that question. I, in my pursuit to get the vaccine, have found that the vaccine was more readily available in the rural areas, and that a lot of people that I know, well, I joined some vaccine groups on Facebook, and I was alarmed at the amount of people who were unable to get vaccinated, even though they qualified to be in the first tier. Many of these people were driving for 4 hours to get to the rural areas, who had just loads of vaccine left over at the end of the day, because a lot of the people in the rural areas do not believe in the virus. And they were sent an abundance of the vaccine, which is very interesting to me. And in my opinion, it's a failure of our government, because they did not fairly distribute the virus. The virus, because it affects Black people more harshly, and a lot of us are in the densely populated areas of like St. Louis and Kansas City. An influx of the vaccine should have been given to those, instead of flooding the rural areas who are not utilizing them. Okay. So unfortunately, the distribution has been a problem, but I have been reading just recently that they're going to rush the tiers, and so that everybody will be available to get to be in the tiers, because I don't know if you know, but they're vaccinating on tiers. So people who are high risk are in tier 1 and tier 1A, and then there's tier 2, tier 3. They're hoping to get everybody into tier 3 by April the 9th, is what I read, I believe.
That's true.
So hopefully a lot of people will be able to get it. But I know more people that have tried to get the vaccine and have been unable to get it because of availability, not because of the desire to get it.
Amen.
Interesting words. Now, Ms. Mixon, you mentioned people in rural areas not believing in the virus. So do you believe this cult-like belief that they have the same mentality about it not existing? How do you feel about those beliefs?
Well, I'm just going to say this that a lot of that came from our president, our previous
Exactly.
president, President Trump, who said that the vaccine was a hoax. I
Exactly.
mean, he was saying the vaccine was a hoax as one of my friends was dying. So a lot of time, as goes the leader, so goes the country.
Exactly.
And so a lot of people fell into that misinformation, and a lot of people died that didn't need to die. And we really were behind the curve in regards to staving off the spread of the virus. This country is the greatest, one of the greatest countries in the world, and we had the wherewithal to create a vaccine pretty quickly, and that we had, we could have deployed all of the might of our military, all the might of our distribution centers, to get the vaccine out quicker. And we could have also put in mandates faster that would have enforced countrywide mass mandates. It would have, if we would have done what we needed to do very on in the pandemic, then we probably would have saved a lot of lives instead of pretending like it was a hoax, or having our leader pretend that it was a hoax.
Very interesting point of view. Now, another question. Um, nationwide shutdowns, national shutdowns. Do you feel like those should be enforced on the people, or do you believe that states and cities should freely shut down whenever they feel like it's necessary to shut down?
Well, you do what's necessary. One thing will be safety. Safety comes before everything. So if you want to maintain safety, then you would do the right thing. The right thing would have been to shut it down early, taken care of early, so you won't have to deal with it later. If we had done everything we were supposed to do before, then we wouldn't be up to 500,000. I mean, 500, what, 500 million people
Yeah,
died. So
five hundred
yes,
times.
500. Yeah, I'm saying 500,000.
Right.
Yes, I just think that's sad. It's important that we do what we're supposed to do and not what we want to do. If we do what we're supposed to do, then we'll get through this thing. But the people that's choosing to do what they want to do, then it's going to take us back. And other people can die too.
Those are
So,
very interesting words.
so I
Very
would
true,
like.
but interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, continue.
I would like to add to that. We are the United States of America.
Exactly.
That means that we should have all been united against the COVID vaccines, I mean, COVID virus spreading. So all of these individual states deciding that they were going to lift, the mandate and all of that. To me, it was a very selfish thing. And we are at risk right now because of spring break of having another outbreak, or ratcheting up the outbreak some more, because people like Florida lifted their mandates, and Texas lifted their mandates, and now people are flocking to those states, and they're going to bring the virus back home. And again, that's why we need a united mass mandate shutdown, and we need to just shut it down for a month or two to get this thing under control so that we can enjoy our summer. Don't we all want to enjoy our summer? We missed our summer last year. I want my summer.
Amen.
Sure was never been spoken. Thank you for the discussion. Now I want to give you the chance to interview me. Do you have any questions for me?
Trey, I do have to say this. You've done a great job. And I am very impressed with your question.
Thank you.
I'm trying to hold back my smile. You're doing awesome. Good job.
Thank
I
you.
have a question for you. How do you utilize your mask, and uh, are you as safe as you can be, considering the pandemic and considering that you have to be around people who are at high risk sometimes?
Well, in the household that I'm in, I live with someone who has diabetes and someone who was of older age. And the last time I went out for the weekend, I didn't make the mistake of not wearing my mask as thoroughly as I should, wearing it incorrectly, sometimes not even at all. I admit I did mess up, and I strongly believe that if I could go back and change the like what happened, I totally would. I would tell myself to put my mask back up on my face because I could not be wearing the mask, and there could be someone else not wearing the mask, and they could like touch everything and everything that I've touched, and then that increases the chance of me getting and spreading this to someone else. So like,
My question. I was going to ask you about one of your masks. You answered it though. Good job, Trey.
and I feel like what Ms Mixon had said, the mask like doubling up on masks should be mandated, and like the citywide shutdown may need to be necessary in the near future because the numbers are increasing exponentially, and obviously we're nowhere near the end of this global pandemic, and it's gonna because like I watched documentaries on like other serious pandemics, and it took years for those to die down, and those still aren't even gone. Now we have this on top of that. Lives are in danger.
True.
Yep,
That was
correct.
well put, Trey.
Thank you. Any other questions, thoughts, or concerns?
No, I don't have any. Do you have any?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Thank you both for your time to discuss this with me. You've made me ask questions that I didn't even had plans to ask. Very thought provoking thoughts, and I love the way you interpreted your beliefs. Thank you both for your time.
Okay.
Thank you, Trey.
Thank you, Trey.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye bye.